Anyway, I'm going to put a clarification card I pre-shuffled. Wolverine, you are a lot tougher than you think you are. And that's another thing about Aries that is interesting. They have this bravado, and I mean, they make good leaders when they can get in that position. But they do have a real sense of unworthiness and lack of self-esteem in a way. These Aries have a lot of situations where they are put in head positions, and they absolutely rise to the occasion. But deep down, they are as unsure as we are. You know, the rest of them, you know, the workers, if they're a leader, the workers down there, they are as unsure as they can. You know, they just kind of need to show their vulnerability more and not be so, you know, like I'm infallible and you listen to me and da da da, because it really does undermine everyone underneath you. And when you do situations like that, you have to realize that you are tougher than you think, because otherwise you wouldn't put that forceful way about you, because you would see everybody. And that's also being part of the equal, part of a whole, right? Put yourself in that other person's shoes and be an equal instead of a superior, because some people just cannot take that. They cannot take authority in that way. So right away you're coming, you know, you're coming from an area that's not pure. You know, right away you're coming underneath, because you're saying I'm better than you are, da 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 da. And in the meantime, you're just as much, you know, you're just as fallible as anybody else, and you have just as many worries, and I mean, you are not any more, I don't know what the word is, but you're tougher than you think you are, is really that esteem. You know, at the end of the day, they're going home thinking, well, did I do the right thing? Da, da, da. But they have this bravado that they come forth with that really will not show a speck of that in their, you know. And they kind of have to be a little more vulnerable. I know that's something I have to work on myself. They have to be a little more vulnerable to others. I mean, you know, earning a position and being there doesn't necessarily mean you can't fraternize with the workers. You know, it's that superiority complex that they can get caught up in that really works against them in the end. So you're a lot tougher than you think you are, is really embracing that sense that you don't know everything, and you may not know everything, and don't pretend to know everything, you know, because people can see right through that. And I think that's really what's going on here, is that there may be a sense of superiority going on, a complex that's kind of hiding the fact that you know, you don't feel worthy, or you feel insecure about things. And so that overpowering really does no justice to your, you know, your sense of truth. That's part of your sense of truth leaving you, is the fact that, you know, these two ways of working. It's almost like, and I'm getting a sense of a lot of business people being in higher positions or authority figures in these ways, you know, kind of putting, saying I'm better, I'm da-da-da, and that you just can't win with that. You can't win with that. It eventually conquers you. It eventually conquers you every time. Every time it'll conquer you. So you really have to kind of give in to that, surrender to the flow, and let it take you where it will. And then be a little more vulnerable, and pick and choose wisely who you trust with your feelings, your senses. And don't berate them either. Once you choose someone, don't berate them and then expect them to listen to what you've got going on. So I think a little bit of that. I think a little bit of just being careful with your karma, where you shoot it out, you know, because I mean, there's a lack of an awareness there that's all coming back on you. So just be aware that a lot of that stuff can come right back at you, and it usually comes back twofold. That's the thing. You can dish it out and go, I got him. but it'll come back twofold down the road, you know, when you get back on your high horse and they just knock you off. So you got to kind of deal with that and work with that. But you are stronger than you think. So that's the whole thing here. The trick is that you are absolutely stronger and more wiser and all of those qualities. You just don't lead with that. You lead with the trickery and the drama, and that's all gotta flow down the river, and then you gotta be on a raft going the other way, like, you know. Yeah. So really conflicting stuff here for the Aries, but I mean, being typical fire signs, right? They're just out there destroying stuff and not making any mind about it. But the malice, be aware, whenever something like that comes up and you got revenge on your mind, be careful, because this is a warning. So whoever's getting this is needing that, because it's probably going to be one of those bigger situations that are coming upon you, that it's going to hit you and you're going to need strength to get through it. And you need to listen to those thoughts in your head that are saying, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this. Don't listen to the ego. Try and separate that out so that you know which is which. And try and make sure you got the truth before you react. All of it. But I still get a sense here that there's an illusion that you just won't know that you don't have all the truth. So that's unavoidable, I guess. But you're stronger than you think you are, and you're just going to trudge along like that ram that you are, so you'll get there. It's just a matter of when and how long, how long down the road you're going to let it go. So that is the fall reading for Aries for 2016. I'm doing these seasonally, so I won't have time to do them monthly. I would love to, but I just don't. So I hope you enjoyed it. For all the Aries out there, it's like I said, I feel like I'm gone, but a lot of strong feelings with these Aries. I mean, they're very much the head of the show, and I mean they don't go on unheard. So this is a lot of what's going on here. It's just the voicing of things, but they really need to take a look and catalog what it is. I need to be yelling and screaming about what it is. I need to be making my opinion heard. So that's really what it is taking the time to suss it out, where, you know, slowing that down enough that you're not coming from the wrong source on things. And not being able to see that clearly just mars that whole thing up. But hopefully that helps somebody get out of a situation that they could have crawled into or jumped into or ran into headlong, hopefully. And then looking at things differently and perceiving it differently, hopefully that helps them. So Aries, for the fall of 2016, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Take care and be kind.